Good morning, brothers and sisters of the Briar. Sweet life-giving caffeine. John Boy, the U.S. Piper, good morning to you. Still hanging out with our humble friend Condor. Maybe not so humble. It's grown on me. I had another pipe full last night, and man, I enjoyed it. I have some further thoughts on it, but one of them, this is one you haven't seen me smoke much. It's an estate I picked up from Brother James over at Pipe Club quite a while back, and it's a Duncan, London-made pipe, Duncan Briars. This one has a very faint Leonard stamp. Leonard's of Oregon, of course, a very historic pipe shop here in the U.S. They didn't quite survive to the internet age, but this really nice piece of Briar did. Kind of a neat shop. He really built strong relationships with a lot of the, not just the English, but in general, the European pipe community as far as the pipe makers and manufacturers go, and tobaccos as well. But certainly the European Briar, whether it was Italian, French, English, he was one of those shops that had a lot of his pipes, that were made by them. So you could get essentially not exactly a basket pipe, but a store brand pipe there and it might be a Duncan or a Parker or a Savinelli or a Camoys, just depending on what you picked out. This one, of course, is a Duncan, just kind of a classic billiard. It's not real beefy or real thin. It's just a nice weight. It's on the lighter, more compact side, but not a small billiard. One of those just right kind of pipes. Vulcanite stem, of course. And I thought I'd go ahead and load. There's a ghost in this that I've thought was Condor for quite a while. And I've about convinced myself that it's not. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's deer tongue, because I've never had deer tongue in a blend before. I've thought about it. I just hadn't ever pulled the trigger. I don't know if it's like maybe a Tonquin bean extract or some weird combination of something. It's very perfumey more than florally. Like, it's Lakeland-ish, but it's not traditional Lakeland floral. I just can't put my finger on it. But it's fallen off over time, and that's why I primarily made it one of my St. Bruno's pipes. I've about decided I'd rather have a Condor ghost in it than whatever slight lingering original ghost there is in here. So, and I wanted to smoke Condor in a Briar. So, and I've kind of had a little more time to gather some thoughts on it. I think it definitely is primarily Virginia's, but I think it's on the stronger side. Like, I think there's some air cured going on. Because it's got a little bit of that kind of twist strength to it. Yeah, it's definitely not a Condor ghost. It's more perfumey than that. Because I just got a hint of it. And when you get a hint of something over the Condor, that answers that. That answers that question. So I think I'm going to use Condor to drive out whatever the heck that is. I'm going to use a ghost to fight a ghost. There's something that points me towards dark fired in this, but I don't think it's actually dark fired Kentucky in it. I think they've kind of, I think some part of it at least has been smoked or something. There's that damn ghost. I love the mouthfeel this has. And it does, in fact, sit with you like I thought it would. And I liked it. I smoked Condor and I liked it. Is that a song? Definitely some florally Lakeland. Very notable. It's kind of similar to what's in Stonehenge Flake, but it's its own thing. And it was just kind of hard for me to pick it out by itself. Like I knew there was some of that in there, but you've also got this smoky, alcohol-y, cooked down raisin thing, but not in a Perique way. And I think what it comes down to is whatever that kind of cooked down top note is with the alcohol involved. I think when they hit it with that, it's after it's been smoked or some part of it has been smoked. And I don't know if it's like more cedar or more hardwood or some weird combination, but there's several times I almost said, I think I'm getting a little hint of a pine. And I stopped myself because I wasn't sure. And also, we're not talking like artificial pine cleaner pine, but like, if you've ever had a campfire and you've been, burning mostly oak or hickory or something, and somebody cuts up a bunch of pine and throws it on, or a handful of pine needles, and you get that, after it burns, it still flavors the smoke for a little while. There's a little of that. Well, it's driving me nuts. So I went ahead and I got on, I guess it was tobacco reviews. And you'll read people with all different opinions on what's in here and not in here. But somebody had mentioned that it was supposedly smoked with some specific woods, but one of them that they mentioned, and I wasn't sure it was pine. It could have been anything coniferous. If you've ever smoked meat, there's a reason you don't use coniferous wood to smoke meat with. But I think there's some small amount of that. And I grew up in a place where I threw a lot of pine on a lot of campfires because sometimes there was more pine than there was hardwood. And the other reason that I think it was so hard for me to pick that out was because it hides in with the florally kind of Lakelandy, not that it's a Lakeland, but it's that type of very British kind of floral essence that's in here. It gets very confused in with that, or hidden with that. And when that's very light, I like the way it kind of disappears and intermingles with the Virginias in a lot of blends. And this, it's stronger than most of what I smoke as far as the amount of essence. Although when you first open up Stonehenge Flake, it can knock you over, but it drops off pretty quick in that one with some airtime. Being open a couple weeks. If you told me there was a little touch of burley, and it's not much, but if you told me there was a touch of burley in here, I would believe you. But if you told me there definitely wasn't, I'd probably believe you. So I'm not married to it. I like that little Lakeline essence in there. You know, the first few things I tried that had any, I knew were going to have anything like that, I really thought I would hate, because I hate things florally. I don't like it in food. I don't like it in perfumes. You know, I don't like it in laundry detergent. I hate cilantro. Not that that's flowery, but that's kind of, I call it soap weed. I'm that guy that picks out something like that and it's like, ooh, that's horrible. And yet, in tobacco, I like it. It's inexplicable. Isn't that a neat old pipe, though? I think I gave James like less than $30 for this thing. And it sat there for a little while. I could not believe it. And I didn't really have any classic billiards that were decent. And I thought, you know, like, I mean, I had some like Graybos and stuff, but I didn't have a proper billiard, put it that way. Nothing with a pedigree of any sort. I had a basket and a couple things, but I really gravitated towards bent pipes early on, pretty exclusively, or at least semi-bent. Tell me all about it, Sadie. Talkative this morning, ain't you? I'm gonna have to let them in. So it's kind of got that Lakeland type essence, but it's not just that. It's kind of got a little bit of an alcohol thing, but it's not just that. And it's kind of got a little bit of a smoky Kentucky-esque thing, but it's not just that. It's like a weird conglomeration of these things that somehow magically works perfectly. I'll tell you, if I could go to the grocery store or the newsstand and pick up Condor and St. Bruno's, it would have taken me longer to find the good tobacco shop in town. I don't think you could not like a Lakeland essence and like Condor. And a lot of people, that's a big turnoff for them. But I am apparently not in that camp. And most of the earlier ones I liked were lighter, you know, in that. But this is good stuff, man. Wow, DC Smoking Pipes, somebody like that. You got tobaccopipes.com is the distributor for like Rattrays. Pipes, at least. I don't know if they're the primary distributor for the tobacco, but it's all cope, so probably. But one of those guys needs to get on this and get this crap imported so I can just order this online. Because it's like St. Bruno's. I would always keep at least probably an open pouch and an unopened pouch here, you know. I don't think I'd buy a pound of it, but I would always have some around. If it was something I could get readily like that. And yeah, Tamper Tantrum found a link to a place that actually, if you go back to the comments of the previous video, you can get it, but they are proud of it. They are proud of it. And I'm sure there's shipping on top of that. So you'd have to really want it. But I don't know if it's an equitable price, but it can be had apparently, at least. So I don't know. I may break down and do that at some point. If I get to missing this one, it's gone that bad. But it's a good smoke. I got to let some dogs in and drink some coffee. Y'all have a blessed day. Jump with the U.S. Piper out.